All right, so I'm out here working on this fence, and I've decided I'm just gonna bulldoze this old fence here. I was gonna try and save it, but it's so messed up, so grown up, I don't think it's worthwhile. So what I'm working on is getting these T-posts that are pulled out, getting them pulled out, the ones that are still straight. Pull their thing right here. And then my neighbor's gonna come. There's some trees that are in the way. We're gonna cut them up and send them home with her as firewood. And then she's gonna help me. We're gonna start getting holes drilled for all the new fence braces. We won't be able to quite finish this up. Actually, really, I guess we could. I was hoping, walking past T-post here, hoping to have all this stuff bulldozed and cleaned up. So, I mean, if you look at it, you can see where I've cleared both sides, but there it is in the middle. That's the old fence right there, and I'd avoided it first time because, like I said, I thought I was gonna be able to stand it back up and save it. Just, you know, it'd save me about, I don't know, $100 or so, $150. It's probably about a roll of fence, but not worth it. So anyway, went to fire the bulldozer up, and kind of irritated the battery's dead. So that sucks. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll get all the fence posts cut. We know how many we need. I need 21 7-foot posts to go through here, and yeah, so we'll get those cut up, and then we can start drilling the holes for at least all the ones that I can get to for now. And I'll get some concrete. We'll set all those posts, and yeah, get that done, and get some trees cut up and sent home for them for firewood along the way. So all right, I just need to get all these T-posts pulled up, and then we'll move on. Alrighty, got all the fence posts out. Got them piled up. Neighbor's truck about full. Got a couple other trees that are kind of in the way over there on a different spot. Gonna go cut them up real quick, and then looks like I'm gonna lose the light today. So if you're waiting on stupid battery charge, we'll be back out here tomorrow with bulldozer, and get all this fence out of the way, and then we're gonna start drilling holes. So it's always something, right? Anyway, see you guys later. Drilling fence post out here. This ground's pretty hard. The auger won't hardly do it by itself, so I just use the backhoe here and push it down in there. We're almost done with getting the holes dug, and then we'll get some posts in there and get concrete in them, and then I'll come in and weld all the cross pieces together later this week. Just like that, old basket case for the win. Yeah, we were doing really good. We had 4 more holes left to dig. One of them was behind this little pile of brush that I'd pushed up, and a bunch of dirt and stuff in there too. Kind of heavy, and well, been nursing this hose along for a little while now, and it gave up the ghost. So I was actually going to get a new one made for it tomorrow anyway, so no big deal. We'll just pop it off real quick, and that way I've got it, and we'll get a new one made tomorrow. So I got to go way out of town to get this one made. Not way out, it's 30 minutes away, but the local spot, they can't make 3/4 inch hoses. So anyway, we'll have to come back, and that's when I'm buying the concrete to actually set all these posts that we're about to go cut. So yeah, anyway, we'll be back. Well, tomorrow it's gonna be raining all day. That's why I'm running errands tomorrow. So we figured it'd be all right. Drill all those holes, and we'll just have to clean them out with little, you know, clamshell postal diggers, jobbers, crummers, whatever you call them. And yeah, but we got all of them done. So corner down that way, and it's all the posts are ready to set. So then either Thursday, Friday, we can get all them in, and then I can start welding them all together. So anyway, let me get this hose yanked off. Shouldn't take long. All right, so this side's a swivel, and it is going to rain tomorrow quite a bit. All right, so I can just swivel that down. And normally, you guys have seen me, I'll stick like an earplug in here. It's too big for an earplug, so it'll just fall right out. So I can at least turn that one down. That'll keep water out of there. And then this one, I found a beer can that I cut the top off of and shove that on there, and that ought to work. So, all right, easy job. Takes about 5 minutes. It's literally just those 2 connections. So, be back later with that hose. Well, so kind of just the way this week's been going. Ran out of gas when I got to the gate over here. I got the new hose for the backhoe. I was about to go get that put on. It's rained for the last 2 days straight, so everything's pretty muddy. Don't think I'll be able to resume work until hopefully tomorrow, but maybe not even until Sunday to get those posts cemented in. While I'm over here waiting on somebody to come help me with getting some gas in the four-wheeler, I just walked up here and I was looking at this. If you remember, right here in the middle of my driveway, I put this culvert in right across here. And I had said at the time that it was going to settle out and that I'd have to add dirt later. And as you can see, it has here and over here settled out. I'm glad I put this in though. And what's going on is the guys that built this driveway and my pad back here, Dozer Company, and they're professionals, so he knew right what he was looking at. But it gets tall over here, right? It's sloped up that way, and then this way it's sloped up again, and so there's a low spot right here. And so he said, if you don't put a culvert in here, it's going to wash your driveway out. And I think he's absolutely right. I even have had a little bit of wash just off the driveway right here, but you can see it does flow. Water just gets right over to the other side. No big deal. So glad he pointed that out. Once it dries out again, I've got this pile of dirt here. I'll get some more dirt out of that, and I'll level this all back out. So anyway, sure glad I put that in. It is working. So well, let me walk over here real quick and let me show you my grass, because it's coming up really good. I'm really excited about it. But it's very muddy. So hopefully I get that hose on the backhoe, and I don't think I'll be able to get it out of the hole that it's down in. It'll just be too wet probably. Maybe I might try it, but probably not actually, because it's where I'm going to need it again to drill those last holes, pushing the auger down like I showed. But all this rain, yeah, I can see it from here. The grass is coming up really good. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you. Alrighty guys, I'm really sorry about the wind. If you're hearing that, I'm trying to kind of make a wind block for you. Check out how green all this is looking. All right. So that's all brand new grass coming up from seed. And there's clover in there as well, but it's looking really good. We've had enough rain. Let's get down here closer to it. Check it out. Baby grasses everywhere. So it's like that all the way around. You can even see it from here, that nice kind of green mat that's coming up everywhere. So very good. Really, really happy about that. So rain makes it hard to do dirt work and stuff like that, but I need it because that's what's making this grass want to grow. And this is what's coming up right now. Those are all cool weather grasses. So they're loving this cooler weather that we have right now. Cold and rainy. I don't really mind it either. I just didn't quite get what I needed done in time. But yeah, see all this. There's some other stuff, like there's a, like right there, that's Johnson grass that's coming up. I didn't plant that, that's just blown in. So hopefully though we can get a good stand of grass growing in here, and it'll keep the weeds from just going crazy. But check it out. So looking really good, pretty excited about it. All right, so I said, you know, the way this whole week's been going, my welder won't start. Not quite sure what's wrong with it, but I cranked on for a little bit and the battery was already low. So I've had problems with this charging the battery. I have 3 pieces of equipment right now that they don't charge the battery for whatever reason. The backhoe, the dozer, and the welder here. So I'm not sure what's wrong with it, why it's not charging the battery, but it's just not. So I cranked on for just a little bit and the battery died, but it looks like the fuel pump's not pumping. So it's got a clear fuel pump on it over here, so I can see when it starts sucking fuel up into it, and it never did the whole time I was cranking on it. So, which I wasn't able to very long because, like I said, the battery died. So anyway, it's charged up, and honestly, I just forgot it. I meant to bring it out here at the same time with the backhoe hose and get on there and see if I get this stupid thing started. And then in addition to that, flat tire on the Ford tractor. That's a pain. Something interesting, maybe you guys can tell me about this, and it's just for weight, but I don't know how to fix one. It's full of antifreeze, so who knew? But it was low a few days ago, and I went to put air in it, and when I first, put the air chuck up to it, antifreeze came squirting out. So I'm assuming it's got a tube in it, but it's full of antifreeze. Again, that's just for weight, adds a couple hundred extra pounds of downforce on the back of it. But so I got to figure out how to fix that, and I don't want to drain all the antifreeze out of one side and not the other, because then it'll be, you know, like imbalanced. It doesn't seem right. So I'm not sure how to fix a hole in a tube or a tire that's full of water, basically, without draining it. And we can drain it, that's fine, but I don't know how to put it back in there. I've never dealt with that. And then in addition to that, the bulldozer here. So came out to start it, battery was dead. I've had problems with it before where it acts like the battery's dead, but it's just a bad battery connection. Part of that, I've got it unhooked right now, but it's because it's got one of these crappy, just kind of bolt-on connections on the positive side. So I need new battery cables. Oops. I need to get the battery cables just replaced. I think will be the best thing. Just get some that have proper crimped or molded in place ends on them. Just haven't done it yet, and that may fix the whole problem here. Maybe it's just a bad battery connection. Now this has the same starter on it as the basket case, the backhoe, and I had a problem where I needed to take the hot wire off of the solenoid right here on the basket case, and it actually broke this plastic part of the solenoid in half, and I had to buy a new one. Luckily they only cost about, I think it was like 25 bucks, but still, so I'm hesitant to take that hose off until, or the, not hose, battery cable off until I know that I have new battery cables on hand for it. And then I might just go ahead and order a new solenoid for it as well. Just because I already tried to put a wrench on it. It's very tight, so I suspect that's going to break. So got the dozer's down, it won't start. Hydraulic hose blew up on the backhoe. The welder won't start. Tractor tire's flat, and I ran out of gas. So that's been my week. So you guys have noticed I haven't been putting out as much content as usual. It's because I keep running into problems like this, and then it rained for the last 2 days, which completely shut me down. So you know, it is what it is. I don't have anything to show you. I just don't have anything to show you. Still trying to keep a weekly schedule, but it's just been kind of thin lately. The other thing is sun goes down earlier, so I don't have as much time after work to work on stuff. So I'm just kind of relegated to only weekends mostly. And what I do get done after work, it's not much and not really worth showing. So did a bunch of bush hogging the other day. That took up pretty much a whole day. I didn't feel like you guys need to watch me drive around in circles on a tractor, so I didn't film any of that. It's pretty boring. But anyway, I do intend to try and keep up a weekly schedule. Just sometimes I just don't have the video content for it. So neighbor just texted me, so let me see if I can get some fuel and we'll go get that backhoe hose put back together. Okay, over here at the backhoe, and just thought I'd point something out on my way out here, because I was on a four-wheeler. I didn't want to risk getting my truck stuck out here. Four-wheeler handles it a lot better, but it is very muddy. So one thing I did is I just kind of loosely hand tight screwed the hose, you know, to itself, connected it together. That way a bunch of crap can't get inside of there. So anyway, it's just as easy as taking that apart and, you know, reconnecting it. Now, the reason that this hose broke, and if you kind of remember looking at it, it was broke like right here. It had a pinch in it, and it's because of this. See, this is kind of facing the wrong direction. It really needs to be facing out this way. So I have a plan to replace this piece of tubing eventually. I just don't have the stuff to do it yet, and I need the backhoe up and running. So we're gonna go ahead and fix it, but eventually I will make a new one of these, and instead of turning it this way, the way this one is, I'll bring it out here to where it makes more sense. And so, you know, the way that works is this side, and you can see that's got some, you know, stress on it right there as well. So that may be one of the next ones to go, although a lot of them are kind of that way. That one's even worse. Anyway, you know, this one should kind of make a Y to go out that way, and this one make the other top of the Y to go out that way. See how that would make sense, especially if the boom was straight. Anyway, that's why it was kinked, is because it gets pinched up here every time I lock the boom back into travel position. So anyway, I'll fix that later. Just don't have the stuff to do it yet. So get the hose put on, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish what I was doing, which is my new fence is going to come right along here, and I've changed my mind kind of on how I'm going to do it since I did all this bulldozer work. So I need to come back here and fix some stuff, but it's going to be right here, right along the edge of wherever I cleared, right through where the backhoe's parked now. And then I'm going to plant an H right over here. So I need to move this tree out of the way. I'll put an H there, and then come out 16 foot and put another H right about where the backhoe's parked. And that way I can have a gate right here. And that is so that in case a cow or a calf or something gets on the other side of the fence out here in the woods, I'll be able to open this gate up like a wing and then get them up against the fence and then run them down, and they'll run back into the pasture. So it's just good to have gates into nowhere sometimes, just in case somebody does get out. That way you can get them back in. So yeah, so that's the plan. Those are the last 4 posts that I have to dig, and that is why I'm going to need this here, because I got to drill 4 more posts over here. So once I get it fixed and running, finish this up, get all this ready, and then probably just leave it here right where it's at. That way it's ready for once it's dry enough to drill those last 4 holes. So whenever that is. So I've got this pile that it just really would be easier to push it than it would be to try and, you know, scoop it, move it with the backhoe. So I thought maybe I could just push it. It's just sticks and stuff. But I should have known better. So anyway, like I said, it is wet out here today. And this type of soil that I have, it's just, it gets slick. I mean, it's like grease. So 2-wheel drive machine, it's just burying the back tires. So anyway, I'm gonna drag myself out of the hole, and we'll park it up here and come back to this and finish it on another day. I decided to come out here and mess with this dozer a little bit, see if I couldn't get it started. No luck, but I found these sticks jammed up into here. I just realized I'm missing a belly pan. There's supposed to be like a 1/4 inch or 15/16 or even thicker a lot of times piece of plate steel under here to protect the oil pan, which, as you can see, is just beat to crap. So that's not cool. I'm glad I saw that. Now I know it's missing. I can keep using it, but I'll know to be a little bit more cautious, I suppose. And then I either need to buy or build a belly pan to go under here to protect that oil pan. And those sticks that I found, let me show you. They were actually up in here. There, see that? I've done that. I recognize even that tree. I know where I did that, but it came up through here and almost stabbed a hole in the back side of my radiator. So that's a problem. Obviously it's got a grill on the front side to protect it, which it was like this when I bought it, but it's been used. I don't know if you can tell, but that's all dented in right there. I'm supposed to have a belly pan under there to keep stuff from coming up through the bottom though, so I'm gonna have to get that figured out. Yeah, that's an issue. So anyway, we'll figure that out. I'll see what one costs just to buy one, and I bet I can build one cheaper. But either way, we'll fix that at some point. All right, so what I was working on before I found those sticks in there is the problem that I'm having is the battery's charged, and it just came off a charger. So I know this battery's charged, but it's acting like it's dead. And I think what's going on is, I think it's this cable. It may be hard to see. So there's a bunch of corrosion all in there. So I suspect that this cable's what's causing me the problem. It appears to probably be original. And then on this one, on the ground side, focus, it's not near as bad. And it comes down to right here. I pulled it. See, it's all nice and clean and shiny, and I took this off and it's nice and clean. It doesn't look like it's corroded really at all. So I'm not gonna mess with that one for now. But I got the old hot off, right? And this goes to the starter. And the connection that had on it when I bought it is this guy. So not ideal. Somebody's had to put a new one on there at some point. And it's all corroded and looks terrible. So I thought this was probably the chief culprit. So I ran to town real quick and I bought a new one. And this is all they had. I'd prefer something different than this system. I don't like it. And it didn't make any difference at all. And so my suspicion was that I need to replace at least this cable and maybe the ground as well. So we're going to start with that. We'll get a new piece of cable. And the problem though is that to get one that has like a proper factory end on it, I can't find one. So because it's almost 9 feet long. So I don't know. I'm gonna think about some options on that. You know, I can always make one with like crimp-on connections, and that's cool and all, but the better way to do it, I don't have a good example, I don't think. Maybe over here. Let me go see. Hang on. Okay, so over here on the welder, as you can see his connection. What's going on here, that's not actually like crimped on or anything. They put a mold around the wire itself, and they actually pour the lead into it and actually cast the lead terminal around the copper wire, right? You can see the flashing from the mold right there. So that's a better way to make that connection, but I can't find one long enough to do the dozer. So got a couple ideas I'm going to try out, and I've considered even trying to just make a mold and pour lead in it and cast it myself. But I got a couple other ideas as well that would be a lot easier. Just don't know how well they'll work. So that's going to be a later video though. So for now, the dozer's dead until I can get a new battery wire for it. Which, I mean, it sucks. That's a stupid problem to have. Kind of irritating. And I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to fix it. I may end up having to have the starter rebuilt. It does appear to be original. So, I mean, it's old if that's the case. Either way, that's where I got this week. I took an entire week off work trying to get that fence done and didn't even get halfway through, which is frustrating. You know, stuff's broke down, not working right. It's just the way it goes, though. So we're ranching. So everything's always broke. Nothing ever works. That's how it is. So anyway, we'll see you guys later. Hopefully next week. But if not, the week after or the week after that, I'll be back either way eventually. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.